if 130,000 trucks are in and around Ottawa, sitting there surrounding Parliament, that is about 40% of the entire trucker and trucking supply in the country. So what do you think is going to happen to supermarket shelves and big box retailer shelves and retail in general? What is going to happen? There are going to be empty shelves, and you know what? People are going to cheer because they know why this is happening, because the bottleneck just discovered that they are the bottleneck, and now they are squeezing the damn bottle.
Over the past few days, Canadians were shocked and frankly disgusted by the behavior displayed by some people protesting in our nation's capital.
That's one small step for man, one giant. I have a dream.
I want to be very clear. We are not intimidated by those who hurl insults and abuse at small business workers and steal food from the homeless.
You gotta fight for your right to vote.
We won't give in to those who fly racist flags. We won't cave to those who engage in vandalism or dishonor the memory of our veterans.
So this is the Terry Fox Memorial behind that the media was arguing, claiming had been vandalized. I'm just gonna do this is amazing. I'm gonna do a 360 of the Terry Fox Memorial.
I have attended protests and rallies in the past when I agreed with the goals, when I supported the people expressing their concerns and their issues. Black Lives Matter is an excellent example of that.
Kill Whitey! Oh, no.
But I have also chosen to not go anywhere near protests that have expressed hateful rhetoric.
In heaven,
hallowed be thy
hallowed be
name.
thy name.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven.
Violence towards fellow citizens.
The note says, "Dear Mr. or Mrs. Trucker, it's really awesome that you're standing up for human rights. I'm only 11, so I don't know much about it, but I believe what's happening is wrong. And I know you can do it. Sincerely, Kate." And she's got a cookie in a baggie for a trucker. This is absolutely amazing, and this is why we're doing it.
Canadians know where I stand. This is a moment for responsible leaders to think carefully about where they stand and who they stand with.
Hey guys, Rafi here from the Endgame Investor. And boy, am I excited today. We have a rare and exciting convergence of political rebellion and economics all coming together at that word we've heard so many times in the last 2 years, and that word is bottleneck. Because what is the bottleneck that has been going on since the new era that we've been in? That bottleneck has been truckers. And now the truckers have taken that bottleneck and they are squeezing it and cutting off the bottle of tyranny. All over the world, trucker convoys are massing. In Canada, it appears that it is about 40% of the entire trucking industry converging in and around Ottawa. Now, the reason that this is critical is that what will end tyranny once and for all is global hyperinflation. It is a scary thing indeed when a money substitute, when a currency dies, especially if it is the global reserve currency, which forces hyperinflation all over the planet. But once that happens, the global elite lose control of the entire game. And the way to force hyperinflation It's not just to print trillions and trillions of currency units, which is how you trigger it, but it is to cut off the supply of basic necessities that this currency buys. And though it will cause suffering, it is essentially the self-destruct button on this game of tyranny that the truckers are pushing. This is why preppers and gold bugs and silverbacks have been hoarding real money and real supplies for months or even years. If it is true that these numbers are as massive as they say they are, and that it is being replicated all over the world, then we're going to start seeing bare shelves in supermarkets, not just as a media oddity and something interesting and quirky to report on, but it should be, if these numbers are correct, a persistent and chronic condition in supermarkets where food does not get to where it needs to get to. So if you have any relationships with local farmers, you should really establish them and deepen them now, especially if you live in a country where trucking is an integral part of getting your basic necessity supply. Let's go into the numbers, shall we? On the left, we have a tweet that indicates the situation in Ottawa. Ottawa police report approximately 2.3 million people on foot and 130,000 trucks in the city. On the right, I have statistics from Statista, a screenshot. In the green little rectangle there, you will see number of truck drivers employed in Canada. If 130,000 trucks are in and around Ottawa, sitting there surrounding Parliament, that is about 40% of the entire trucker and trucking supply in the country. So what do you think is going to happen to supermarket shelves and big box retailer shelves and retail in general? What is going to happen? There are going to be empty shelves, and you know what? People are going to cheer because they know why this is happening, because the bottleneck just discovered that they are the bottleneck, and now they are squeezing the damn bottle. Now, let's go into an article in Forbes written just a few weeks ago about the trucker situation before they suddenly woke up and realized the power that they have. January 12th, 2022, editor's pick. There is a massive trucker shortage causing supply chain disruptions and high inflation. Correction here. Trucking and trucker shortages do not cause high inflation. Money printing is high inflation. When it affects consumer prices, this is just rising prices. Anyway, Jack Kelly, senior contributor. Truck drivers move around 71% of the U.S. economy's products across the country. The numbers are not that different in Canada. Perhaps they're even higher. If you've shopped at a supermarket lately, you would have noticed all of the bare shelves. There is no definitive timeline for the delivery of the new car you excitedly put a down payment on months ago. Companies are losing business as they aren't even receiving the stock of goods and components needed to make their products. These issues are emblematic of the disruption of the supply chain. President Brandon pressed the ports to work around the clock to unpack containers, get them off the docks, and send them out to the public. It helped somewhat. However, Brandon, when the truckers refuse to pick up the stuff from the ports, they're still not going to move. There is a bigger issue that hasn't been addressed. We can receive all the goods from China and around the world, but if there are not enough truckers to deliver them to stores, we will continue to see empty shelves for a long time. Truck drivers move around 71% of the U.S. economy's products across the country. One of the biggest challenges that no one seems to want to talk about is that there is a massive shortage of truckers. And now it looks like across the world, the truckers suddenly realize that they have the real power, and therefore the power belongs to the people. And we see everywhere, in every country that this is happening. In Canada. In Italy. In the Netherlands. Australia.
This is beautiful. I got goosebumps, folks. Come on, Aussie. Yes. Woo!
People have finally figured it out by parking their trucks in every capital of every country in this world and end this tyranny, not just by getting rid of the mandates, but by getting rid of the inflationary money that finances it all. And you know what? Here in Israel, there's a freedom convoy that is beginning on February 14th, and just like in the other freedom convoys of the world, will be filled with anti-Semites and bigots and white supremacists and Jewish neo-Nazis or something like that. So watch out for them. They're very dangerous. This is Rafi of the Endgame Investor. If you enjoyed this video and you want to know more about the gold and silver markets, which are about to go ballistic, especially when shortages persist throughout the entire globe because the truckers are taking their power back, then I want to sign up for a 2-week free trial of the Endgame Investor because things are about to get real. You can also be my patron on Patreon, where you'll get a weekly video on my biblical commentary from a libertarian and Austrian economics perspective. And if you enjoy human liberty, then you will enjoy that commentary. This is Rafi, the Endgame Investor, and I'll see you at an empty supermarket, God willing. Just stock up.